Welcome to the Podski.
What? Ooh, yeah.
You understand, baby?
Dig it?
Let me tell you another thing.
First name John, last name Baker. Uh-huh. Brother.
Hello and welcome to the Podski. I'm your host, the man of 1,000 gimmicks, John Baker, and it is day 2 of WrestleMania week. It was a day. We got started, well, I would like to say bright and early, but it was hella pouring out here this morning. Hard rains early in the morning. Didn't last very long though.
Yeah.
Went to breakfast this morning. The Andretti, we hopped in the race car.
Ridiculous. We sure did.
Took the race car to the valley.
Yeah, head up out of Burbank, right up the Simi Valley to check out the old Susanna Cafe, which I've been trying to get to for a little while.
Do you want to explain to the listeners what Simi Valley is?
Simi Valley is an interesting place. It's where there is two kinds of people. Cops and porn stars are the only people that live in Simi Valley right now. So it's definitely a red town to put it mildly, politically. But it's an okay spot. They've got a pretty good diner, which we found today, and they've got a lot of canyons that are pretty fun. But other than that, if you're looking for a police officer or a porn star, that's the place you got to go.
The old Susanna Cafe was a hit. I had the bacon Swiss avocado omelet, and it was amazing. Their home fries were awesome as well.
Yeah, I got a omelet with ham and peppers and onions and American cheese. I love diner food, man. I mean, it's not real food unless you're eating it with a fork that is really thin. If you can't touch your fork to the plate and have the fork bend real instantly, you're not eating real food.
I love it. That's your measure for real food. I never even thought about.
She asked me what kind of toast I want, and I looked at her like, "Are you serious? Of course I want white toast. I want real food." I'm from Pennsylvania, goddammit.
I want that damn Wonder Bread, woman, or that wholesome. Is that wholesome bread?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's what we always had at the house. But yeah, it was awesome. Rode around the canyons a bit. Those roads. There's absolutely zero chance of getting my wife on any of those roads.
It was like a roller coaster going down through Box Canyon. But we went down through Susanna Pass Highway, whatever the hell it's called, past the Spawn Ranch, because we wanted to check out the old Manson family haunts. So we went down past the Spawn Ranch and then drove down through, came back, turned around, came back up through and checked out Box Canyon, which was a hell of a lot windier than what I expected it to be. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was really windy, but it was still cool to just like check out like the topography and all the rocks that are exposed, and it's not, you don't realize how like steep these mountains are until you're like on them, and then you're like, oh fuck, these things are like.
The thing about driving down through those canyons too is Simi Valley's a really good place to get a gigantic, super aggressive pickup truck on your ass really quick. It will not leave you alone.
Yeah,
and then when you let them pass you, they look at you like they're going to kill you regardless.
Yeah.
So that's what happens every time you go up there.
Yeah, and then we made our way to Malibu. The
much different vibe in Malibu than there is in Simi Valley.
Yeah, completely different vibe. We drove through Malibu Country Estates.
Sure. Up by Pepperdine.
Yeah, by Pepperdine University. Those houses were unbelievable.
Yeah.
All of the houses that you see throughout here are absolutely insane.
Sure. Then we drove up through Pacific Palisades, which is even crazier with the houses and super expensive property up through there, all the way up past Shout out Paul Revere Middle School. Paul Revere Middle School wrestling team. Shout out. Hope you guys are doing well. Then we went up through Brentwood and then up down in the Beverly Hills, and we screwed around Beverly Hills for a long time.
Yeah, you did mess around in Beverly Hills.
I'm sorry, my brain's not firing right now. I'm half asleep.
Yeah. We were recording this. It is, if we're talking about good guys time, it is 4:02.
I mean, it was just a longer day than what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it felt like it was going to be a short day, and it turned into a long day.
I mean, thankfully, Pandemonium ran an hour and a half later than what they were supposed to run.
Right, yeah. I don't know. So we had our 2 shows today. We had Pandemonium Wrestling, and we had Relentless Wrestling, which we will get to them later.
Yeah.
We
we were in Hollywood today, and we screwed around in downtown, basically like Hollywood Highland, which is tourist hell. You know, we went there and met a couple rappers that seemed like pretty good dudes, and we talked to them for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they gave us CDs, which I don't know how the hell I'm ever playing them.
Yeah.
I mean,
we should have them intro into one of the pods.
What are we doing with these? What are we supposed to do with these CDs?
I don't know.
I'll give it a shot. I just don't know how to play it.
Yeah.
I gotta find somebody that has a car that has a CD player in it. But then we found Vince McMahon's Hollywood Walk of Fame star, which was fun.
Yeah. Right across from Dwayne Johnson's.
Yeah.
Checked out the what was that? The Dolby Theater.
Yeah, we went through the Dolby Theater. That was pretty cool too. They got all the names of the fucking best movie of the year. What's it called?
Motion picture.
Yeah, of the year. All every year they got the whole list on the wall. So it's pretty cool to see that. Yeah, and then I ate a $9 slice of pizza across the street.
That piece of pizza was really good though.
$9.
Yeah, I don't know if it was worth $9, but it was good pizza.
Yeah, then we headed over right away to the first show, and George from the Royal Rumble pod that we did, the Royal Rumble preview pod, was there, and yeah, pretty awesome. Hang out with him for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That the only negative I would say about that show is that we didn't realize that we purchased standing room only tickets, and my feet were bumping. I couldn't wait until somebody left for them to leave in front of us so that we could take their chairs for I didn't even care if it was 30 seconds.
Dude, it was brutal. Just standing for that show, man. And keep in mind, we stood for 45 minutes to an hour outside.
Yeah.
Before we even went in because they ran late with that first show. So they pushed everything back and it ended up going an hour and a half over the time limit than what it was supposed to. We were just on our feet for a freaking long time.
Yeah. The show was supposed to start at 4, and then they didn't let us in the building until 4:15.
Yeah.
And surprisingly enough, they did a full pat down. Dude, man, almost had a handful of junk. He was really close. But I was actually surprised they actually did pat downs. But then, they let us in the building, and do you want to talk about your purchase that you made inside there?
Oh, God. Yeah. So we went in there and, we're talking about not really wanting to drink in public anymore. And George and I are having a conversation about concerts and everything else. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get a drink. And I purchased a double vodka Red Bull, which was $33. And that was a one and done on that. So if she hadn't already poured it, I would have told her I don't want it. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be a jerk to the bartender and tell her to take it back, But if I would have known what the price was before that, I wouldn't have bought it. It wasn't that the drink was terrible or anything. It just wasn't very much liquid, and the price was very high, and I was not happy about that. But it is what it is. Yeah.
I got a Modelo, and it was $10.
God.
For a 12-ounce can.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that one hurt whenever I realized how much it was.
Yeah.
But the venue that we went to today was the Don Quixote, what was that, a civic center, community center, or something like that?
Theater, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, it was I actually really liked the venue a lot.
Yeah, they run shows out of there pretty frequently, I think. And they have, concerts and stuff in there, too, I think.
Yeah,
and I think you can rent it out for, events like a party or whatever the hell, quinceañera, whatever the fuck. Seems like the part of town where there's probably a lot of quinceañeras getting rented out in that area.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a I think when a girl turns 16 or 15.
Okay, so it's like the opposite
Latina
of a
community.
bar mitzvah.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
They have like a party for the a teenage girl, saying that she's now 14 years old or 15 or whatever it is. I don't know.
But yeah, so like the venue is really cool. Had an enormous disco ball over the ring. Had some really cool lighting with the LED boards and everything. And then they had a really good matches, I thought, for the Pandemonium show. And
You want to talk about the fans of the week?
yes, we need to talk about the fans of the week.
Because this happened as soon as we got there, like within a minute of being into that damn place.
Yeah, because we didn't even have our drinks yet. Like we were just scoping the place out.
Yeah.
Well, we're standing there, and it was a little chillier today, so my wrestling shirt was hidden by my pullover because I wore the Space Mountain Ric Flair shirt today. And George had on his Jim Cornette shirt, and we had a full-on mouth breather with a fucking rat tail, basically.
I've been calling him Ponytail Patterson all night.
Yeah, his hair was awful.
It was not good.
And he looked like he was carrying a bowling ball under his shirt.
Could have been. It could have been.
And
He's one of those people, let's put it this way. He's one of those people that the rest of their body looks normal, but they've got a really big circular bowling ball gut
yeah,
that looks like it's not real,
yeah,
but it is.
but it is very real, yes. So he comes up to George and he says, "Boo Jim Cornette, fuck that guy," and then flips all of us off like we're assholes or something. We're literally just standing up against...
the dude's not even laughing. Like, if
He's
you,
not
if you
laughing.
say that and you're laughing, and then what? It's funny, right?
Yeah, like
The
he
dude
wasn't
was
laughing.
was like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, and we're just like...
We're like, what?
I don't even know what you said to him.
Well, George laughed in his face.
Yeah.
And I told him, take a fucking break, dude. And because I go from 0 to 75 within a second.
And
so,
I said
George usually does too, is the thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, thankfully that guy didn't start shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it was like, dude, why say that?
Like, what is the point?
I don't know.
And to make it even better, he was wearing an AEW shirt.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
Of course he was wearing an AEW shirt.
But that is not the only fan of the week.
Yeah.
This is a two-parter because his wife,
Yes.
well, what we assume is his wife,
Yeah.
she made a wardrobe change during the show.
Two time.
She had on 3 different shirts.
Yes.
She started with one shirt, and then she disappeared from the show, and then she came back and was wearing a different shirt.
She was wearing a shirt that says something like Billy. I thought it was a Billy Joel shirt, but I couldn't see what was
I
underneath
think it was Billy Starks.
It could be. Yeah, maybe.
I thought it was. And then all of a sudden she was wearing like a Jay White shirt.
Yes.
And then...
She disappeared again and came back and was wearing a gray tank top.
Yeah. So I didn't know that we did wardrobe changes during wrestling shows.
Yeah, if I'd have known that, I would have ran out there and got my Kid Bandit sweatpants out of the truck and put them on and wore them for the rest of the show.
I almost just spit my beer all over this room right now. For Kid Bandit sweatpants.
Oh, God. I gotta go get my Effie hat out of the car. And I can go change hats, real good, like my Effie fedora or whatever it is in the car. I go get my Chris Bay socks and put my Chris Bay socks on real quick.
Go get what was that? What was the guy with the painted?
Which guy?
The painted face guy.
Funny Bone.
Funny Bone. What a terrible name.
I mean, the paint job was good.
The paint job is phenomenal. The paint job is so good.
Yeah, he looks like he should be in like a 90s new metal band or something. I don't know.
That or he could have
That
been in
guy.
Mad Max.
I think, that's good. I think my fan of the week is going to be the big Akeem looking dude
Yes.
that was wearing a Maki Ito baseball jersey.
That, yes. It felt like 98% of the people that went to the show only wanted to see Maki Ito.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think she got the biggest pop in that crowd?
Oh, yeah.
Who else got a big pop?
Well, I can tell you somebody who didn't get a
Morrison
big pop.
did. Morrison got a pretty big pop.
Yeah. Johnny Hollywood got a big pop.
Yeah.
The saddest, probably the one of the night was for PJ Black, who was the former Justin
It's
Gabriel.
just strange, man.
He got crickets.
Why do people just not know that he is Justin Gabriel?
Well,
No
he-
one
he
gave a
doesn't-
shit.
It doesn't look like Justin Gabriel. He looks like a ripoff Captain Jack Sparrow in wrestling tights.
You see, he even interfered in that match for Morrison,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody made a
I
sound.
had no idea that was him.
Nobody made a sound. And
Because-
then he came out later when he said his name, and it was crickets again.
Yeah, when I was like, oh, that's the guy that was with Morrison earlier.
Yeah,
I was like, why did I like? He does not even look recognizable.
yeah. I don't know what to do. I don't know if it's just people. How long ago was he there? 10 years? No, probably not even 10, right?
It's even harder to even recognize him because he only had like a goatee,
yeah,
and then he had like
like
the
a
super
headband.
short hair,
Yeah.
and like now he's got long hair.
What's crazy too, like even if you don't remember him from the WWE run, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dude was still in ROH for how long? People
Yeah.
don't remember him from that. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was very strange.
Yeah,
You would think an ex WWE guy would get a pop.
right.
'Cause JTG did,
Yeah,
and so did Morrison.
yeah. Well, I didn't realize that's who that was at first because I could see JTG like where we were standing. We could see them standing in the gorilla position, kind of through the curtain.
Right.
And I was like, there's a guy, I thought it was Chris Bay at first, because sometimes he does like do the braid on top.
Yeah.
But then as soon as they came out, I was like, that's definitely not Chris Bay.
Yeah, he's too big.
And yeah, big dude.
Yeah, that was just strange, man. I mean, like, but Maki Ito was a big hit.
Maki Ito
sure.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was huge. Everyone was wearing Maki Ito shirts. I saw multiple Maki Ito shirts,
Yeah.
especially the baseball jersey.
I don't know if that guy made that himself or if he bought that somewhere, but like it was pretty sweet.
It was pretty sweet looking. But yeah, she did a great job. She was in.
Dude, she's a freaking star, man. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
she's
she
aw-
actually
she's
like
so,
is.
so awesome. to
Yeah.
see. I mean, like her shtick is never going to get old, as
No.
far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, yeah, she was in a tag match with Kid Bandit, which is the first time I ever saw Kid
Me
Bandit.
too. That was the first time I ever did too.
I've seen a lot of fanfare for her on social media, and I was always kind of just curious. So got to see her twice tonight because she was a part of the second show we went to as well. But yeah, we started off. I never saw Jack Cartwheel before. He was on the pre-show
Yeah.
with Andrew Everett. Andrew Everett was a very welcome watch.
Yeah.
Really liked him as well. That them doing the gimmick of doing cartwheels and making the ref do the cartwheel and
That was
basically
pretty, yeah, that was great.
working the whole match around Jack trying to pull off the cartwheel move was awesome.
Yeah, guy's a hell of an athlete, man.
Yeah,
He's like a real gymnast.
you can tell.
I don't know if he's like I don't know if he was ever in the Olympics or anything, but he's a legit gymnast. That guy can fly around.
Yeah, he did. You could definitely tell. Yeah, and then we had the Maki Ito match was the first match of the show for the main show, and I can't.
I'm sure I don't remember the order. I got notes written down. I don't remember the order of who else was in those matches. That Steph DeLander was in the match with.
Yes,
Was she in that match?
she was in the Maki Ito match with Kid
with
Bandit. With
what's Heather Monroe?
Heather
Is that her
Monroe,
name?
yes.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
pretty. She's pretty good. Heather
Yeah.
Monroe's pretty good.
That was
Steph-
actually a
Steph
really good match.
That's the first time I've ever seen Steph DeLander work. I mean, I saw her on that World Series wrestling show, the
Mhm.
Australia thing that I was telling you about with
Yeah,
Cardona
yeah.
with the Indiana Jones gear and all that. But so she's I don't know if she's part of the Major Brothers now or not, but she's like partnered up with Cardona.
But yeah,
But I've never seen her work. But she's big, she's physical, moves around pretty good. Not everything she does looks great, but sometimes she looks really great.
Yeah.
She gave an amazing clothesline to somebody in that match. I forget who it was.
I think it was Maki.
It looked unbelievable.
Yeah,
So she looks like she's got a pretty bright future for sure.
yeah, because wasn't she a part of NXT?
I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure she was or I don't know if she ever made it to TV, but I'm pretty sure she was a part of like developmental.
Yeah, as far as I know, that was the first time I'd ever seen her work.
Yeah,
I liked her. I thought she was pretty good. I thought Heather Monroe was good too. I've seen her a couple times wasn't blown away by her. But I thought tonight she looked like she was pretty smooth in the ring and looked pretty good.
Yeah. I liked all those women in the ring tonight. They did really well.
Yeah, like you said, like that's the first time I've ever seen Kid Bandit too. I mean, the character looks great.
It does.
Great presentation. She's got the character down pat. For sure.
Right.
I wasn't blown away by her in the first show,
Mm-hmm.
but then I'm sure we'll talk about it again in the second show.
Yeah. And what are the matches we have for the Pandemonium show?
I'm trying to think here.
We had the other tag match with the dude with the X on his forehead with the paint guy.
Drexel and Funny Bone took on who?
They were Most Violent. Is that what their name was?
No, they took on the two
No,
people that were
Most
dressed
Violent.
like Richard Simmons.
Oh, yes. We got to talk about this team.
I have no clue who those people were.
I'm so perplexed at this team. So their name was Doomfly, but the guy, he had like a weird looking like tongue like a fly, I'm assuming is where he gets the fly thing from. But they were dressed like Richard Simmons and like 80s workout aerobics. That was their gear, but then this guy was like acting like a fly.
It was strange.
It was strange. It really was. And then
the woman in the group, I don't know who
she did all the damn work in the match.
She did all the work and she was okay. She reminded me of somebody that would be in NXT.
Yeah, she
just
did,
her
actually.
presentation. But her facials were good and she was, playing up to the crowd and everything. It was pretty good. But other than that, I mean, that was like the lowest point of the night for the Pandemonium show. I think.
I would say that was the lowest point of the Pandemonium show.
But then we had the 4-way for the number 1 contenders match.
Yeah,
which Yuya Uemura, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, man, I apologize. but I can't remember how to pronounce that guy's name. But he's a New Japan Dojo graduate in Japan. That's on excursion right now, and I think he's signed to Impact. But he was on the Pandemonium show today. Looks great. I felt like we didn't get enough out of him. We didn't get to see him enough.
Right. You would assume that he's over here on excursion. You'd see a lot of work from him, and we didn't seem to see a lot.
Yeah.
But he did win the match.
Who was that? Jay Vidal guy was in that match, right?
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yes,
that guy.
I liked him.
You know what's great for that guy? And it might sound weird to say this. Every woman in the crowd loves Jay Vidal. And I was like, you know what? Good for that dude, man. Because that's a big deal.
Right.
It's a big deal to be able to be, get over with the crowd and have people want to see you and things like that. So hats off to that guy. Pretty good in the ring.
Yeah.
He's got a good presentation. He looks confident.
Yeah.
Which is really good, really important. But that's the thing too, man. Like you go to indie shows and like you can, or just watch it on TV or whatever. But you can just tell when people look confident in
what they're
ring,
doing,
with what they're doing, with their character, and they feel like they're they feel comfortable in their own. She's like, Effie, dude. I mean, who the hell is there anybody that feels more comfortable in their skin than that guy, man?
Yeah.
So seeing him is always awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But that Jay Vidal guy, I don't think I'd ever seen him before. But I left today after seeing him with 2 matches, being like, that guy's pretty damn good.
Yeah. I liked seeing him as well. We got to see Johnny Hollywood.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Mundo, John Morrison.
Johnny Down Under.
Johnny Down Under. He is so awesome. When he told that girl, so there was a very loud female who was filming the entire show for her Twitch channel or something. She was so loud in line. Well, we waited 45 minutes in the baking sun.
Oh, that's when I told you wrestling fans are the worst.
Right. You texted in the group, you said wrestling fans are the worst. She was so loud about
She's just putting herself over.
She just put herself over the whole time.
That's all she was doing.
Like
man.
one wrestler blew her a kiss.
She told everybody.
We totally forgot to talk about what happened before we even parked. We almost ran over Effie.
Holy shit! I forgot about that right
Yeah.
until. So here's the deal. So everybody's been in this situation where you park on the street, right? Like a busy street. You got to be real careful about opening the car door, right?
Yeah.
And look, you got to look over your shoulder, make sure there's nobody coming up the lane. I mean, Effie almost didn't make it to the show tonight.
Yeah.
Effie almost got killed by us getting out of his car. And it was so like, it was just so strange. Like, you see this person that you've never met, right?
Right, but you know who they are.
But you know who they are. And I'm like, and we pull up there, and Effie's door just swings open,
Right.
and he jumps out, and we're like, dude, Effie, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah. That was, I almost forgot about that, but I'm so glad that I remembered because that is so funny.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because we saw John Morrison just walk up the street.
Oh, you missed Hammerstone.
I missed Hammerstone.
You went across the street, and me and George were in line, and Hammerstone apparently was on that card for the first show, which I looked at that card last night, and I didn't recognize anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed him or what, but all we saw was Hammerstone walk out with a suitcase in like American flag shorts and no shirt.
Wow.
And just walked down the street with a suitcase. It was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
There was literally gas stations all around us, and I had to take a piss, and I could not find a working bathroom at any of them. So, and then we had to wait outside. I was like, we would have been able to just walk right up to the building and walk right in. I could have just went to the bathroom, but no, we had to wait because the other show was late. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, Johnny Hollywood. He was awesome. He told that woman that girl in the front row, he said, "Shut up, nerd," and
Which popped all of us.
we popped to the moon for that one because it was just so perfect. But yeah, they put on a really good show in that match. I really liked. That was the first time I ever saw Masha. She's got some big internet fanfare because she is the
GCW champ.
She's a GCW champ now.
But I'll tell you what, Morrison looks so much bigger in real life, man.
He's huge.
He's a big dude.
That is the most like ripped human I think I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, that guy, like, ageless. The guy's just ageless. I mean, I can't comprehend that this guy's able to do the shit that he does at his age and his.
Yeah.
I mean, he just is incredible, man. He's so good and so entertaining.
Right.
He's like an unsung hero, man, of like the last quarter decade or quarter century.
He doesn't get enough credit. He's
he
very
doesn't,
underrated.
Man. He really doesn't get enough credit. I mean, that guy, he's so good with the crowd. Everything he does in the ring looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a star. He looks like a star with everything he does, man. And it's really cool to see it.
Except for the fact that it looked like his pants. He was about to blow the ass out of his pants.
I don't know if that happened in a previous event.
I don't know.
Or if it happened tonight, but something happened.
Something happened. It looked like we were about to see Johnny Hollywood's hole. It was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, but.
And then him and Justin Gabriel hightailed it out of there. After that show's over, they got the hell out of there.
Yeah. So they did the as we mentioned in the preview show, they did the Rumble Riot, and I have some thoughts on this.
The Rumble Riot went on for about 2 hours too long.
It was so never ending, and it was because we got to like the 24th entrant out of 30, and like 4 people had been eliminated. And 14 people
were just laying in the ring.
There was 4 people laying in the ring. 2 were actually actively having a match, and then the rest were just laying on the mats outside the ring, staring at the action in the ring.
It got so bad that George yelled, "Somebody please stand up and do something."
Yes, multiple times. I was at the point I was like, "What are we doing?" It's worse than that Royal Rumble, where Rey Mysterio laid in the corner visibly on the hard cam, looking at the hard cam for 10 minutes straight and did not move. It was that I was getting frustrated. I just wanted somebody to do something.
It was so strange.
They brought out that big dude. They brought out Super Beast.
Yeah.
They brought out this Super Beast guy. This guy was enormous. Huge, like jacked up dude, wore a mask, and they eliminated him right away.
Well, Super Beast has got heat with me because that dude. Okay, so to set the stage here. You've got wrestlers walking around the venue the whole night,
which was awesome. I literally like pissed right beside Chris Bay.
Yeah, and I talked to Andrew Everett upstairs whenever I went up to look at the merch stuff. But yeah, I just ran into him and we were talking about my Steiner Brothers shirt. But then Super Beast in his gear, minus the mask, of course, just starts walking around the venue, showing his face.
Showing his face. Like, he did do that.
Why?
Yeah.
Then he wrestles in a mask.
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
We already saw your face,
look,
dude.
I know this isn't CMLL, dude.
Right,
I totally get it. But like, take some pride in your fucking work, dude.
Yeah.
Take some pride in your work, man.
I did notice that because he literally walked. Because so the biggest downfall for this show is the fact that we were in the standing room only. So we stood. So there's only one row of or two rows of chairs. No, one row of chairs.
There was only one for that.
There was
show,
only one
yeah.
row of chairs for that show, and then the whole floor was open. So we were leaning up against the.
Or we were gonna die if we weren't leaning against the railing.
Yeah, so we were leaning against the railing, and this guy comes right, like literally inches in front of us with no mask on, and we're like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
Yeah, because
And
we
then
hadn't seen him all night.
Right, and then he comes out in the riot wearing a mask.
Come on, man.
So yeah, that
Take
was
pride in your work, bud.
yeah, that was a little annoying, but it was really I did really enjoy because the men's locker room and was like right outside the men's bathroom. So you were just walking. If you had to go to the bathroom, you walked into the bathroom. You probably just like all of the wrestlers were standing right there.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was actually like really cool that and they were just walking around the whole arena all night long. Didn't stop for both shows.
Yeah, when I went upstairs to go to the merch tables,
Talk about the merch tables.
it was hilarious. Effie and somebody else was just standing at the top of the steps, like
Yeah.
blocking the path, right? And I walked up there and I'm like, did I go up the wrong side? Like, am I not supposed to be up here?
Mhm.
Because I just saw wrestlers walking around talking, right? There's hardly any fans up there.
Yeah,
And I'm like, am I supposed to keep going up here?
right.
So I did. And I'm like, well, fuck it. He'll tell me to leave if not supposed to be up here. So I went up there, and it actually was the merch tables. And, they had people were selling T-shirts and whatnot. And then I got down to the end, and somebody was selling homemade soap. One of the wrestlers was selling homemade soap. And look, I'm all about the side hustle, man. Do
Yeah.
whatever you need to do. If you need to wrestle D&Ds and sell your soap, then so be it. I think I laughed the hardest because it just caught me off guard so much. It was so off guard.
I've never even heard of anyone ever selling soap.
Somebody was selling homemade soap.
Maybe they figured that that the fans needed it. Maybe the
Fuck.
mouth breathers that were sitting in because there's
Well, they wouldn't have been wrong with some of those people that we saw tonight.
yeah. But yeah, so the Rumble riot lasted forever,
Yes.
and it finally ended. Then we had to leave, go back out of the building, and come back in, and went back in for Relentless Wrestling, which we felt that Relentless Wrestling had a better card.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be. From that Rumble riot too, the size of Juicy Finau, the big Tongan guy that came out.
Yes, that guy was
That
huge.
dude is so big and really.
Yeah.
I believe he's one half of the MLW tag champs. I believe
okay.
right now. So that dude is just freaking enormous. He was throwing people out.
Oh yeah, he almost broke the one guy's neck.
Maybe not the safest guy I've ever seen in
Yeah,
the ring.
not very safe in the ring.
Considering that he threw a guy over the top rope on top of someone on the outside without waiting for that guy to turn around to see that he was about to get hit in the back with another body.
And that guy literally
And he almost killed both of
he
them.
almost killed both of them, and then he almost killed another guy seconds later in the ring.
Yeah, when he laid a trash can down and then had a guy on his back, and he took the bump when he dove into the trash can himself,
Yeah,
and the other guy never touched it.
yeah.
It was like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah, yeah.
So weird. Big guy. I mean,
Big
like
Tongan guy
like
came
an
out to
uncontrollable
he,
monster.
he
apparently.
came out to Mariah Carey.
So funny.
Yeah.
JTG looked awesome. I thought,
JTG
too,
did
man.
look awesome too.
Yeah, big dude, man, for
Yeah,
sure.
huge dude.
Like that, and obviously Speedball at the end.
Yeah, Speedball was good. He was number 30.
Yeah, he came out. I mean, his that guy's strikes, dude. His
Mhm.
strikes are like a chef's kiss, man. I mean,
Yeah.
he might have the best strikes in wrestling at this point, man.
They look really good.
He just every one of his kicks just is phenomenal, man. It looks so good. So it's always super fun to watch him. That's the first time I've ever seen him live. That guy's awesome. And then they did an angle. I won't give it away, but they did an angle at the end of the show where another guy came out and cashed in the Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah,
You know.
because this was a TV taping for Pandemonium
Yeah,
Wrestling,
yeah.
so we're giving away all the spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Relentless Wrestling. I thought that this card was gonna on paper it looked better.
I thought they were gonna have a huge crowd, dude.
I thought they were, and then we went back and we were like one of like 17 people.
I don't know if people just didn't show up or not because they purposely put more seats out.
Yeah.
Maybe people just didn't show up. I don't know what happened, but they went from one row of seats around the ring to
Right.
3.
Yeah.
Apparently expecting more people to show up.
Yeah.
I thought everybody from Pandemonium was going to stay for that show, dude.
So did I.
I don't know why they didn't.
And like, yeah, there was like, we were like one of like 17 people in that.
There was
in
like
that
no
meetup.
one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
That was the first time they'd ever run a show in LA. I mean, look, I get it. It's Wednesday night, right? So it's Wednesday night. It's the first time that promotion's ever run a show here. Maybe that's the reason for it. I don't know, but I thought for sure that there was going to be a ton more people there, but there just wasn't. But luckily we had seats for that.
Yeah, luckily we did have seats for Relentless because after standing for that first show, I didn't know if I was going to be. There's no way I would have been able to make it for as long and what Relentless Wrestling ended up being.
Yeah, I don't think so either, man. Like it was the greatest thing in the world to have that hour break between those shows and get out to the car and sit in the car.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah, absolutely. Because
that Pandemonium show went way longer than we thought.
Way longer.
There was easily 20 minutes of that Rumble that could have got cut.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that people were just laying there not doing anything.
And it's like, dude, what are we doing?
Like this, we get it. Let's go.
This isn't Raw. You're not filling time.
Right. Like they were doing a pre-tape show. Like they can cut all that out.
Oh God.
I don't know. But Relentless, I got juiced up for this match because we found out late yesterday that they made an announcement that
Twice they announced it.
They announced it twice.
Twice.
That Juventud Guerrera was going to be a part of the show. And we did not see Juventud Guerrera tonight.
Juventud Guerrera was not in attendance.
Juventud...
nor was there any acknowledgement of the fact that we had promoted him being there and him not showing up. Or an apology.
Right, because we didn't, when we bought the tickets, we didn't knowingly know that Juventud Guerrera was going to be at the show.
Yeah,
we
got
no really excited.
We had no idea.
We had no idea. And then we got really excited yesterday, and we're like, oh shit, we're going to see Juventud Guerrera tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And there was no mention of him, and they just wasn't, he just wasn't there.
Yeah, and no acknowledgement of it.
No acknowledgement or anything of it. And from how good Pandemonium was and how crisp the production of it all seemed, Relentless Wrestling had some bumps in the road tonight.
Quite a few. Quite a few bumps in the road. Not a smooth operation tonight.
Not a very smooth operation. I don't want to bury them because this isn't their home base. They're from Spokane, Washington. So they came the whole way down to LA for this weekend.
We thought Luigi Primo was coming out.
We thought Luigi
65 times.
They kept playing with the Amore.
That's
song.
Amore. They kept starting the song That's Amore and letting it play for like 40 seconds before they would realize that they're not playing the right music.
Yeah.
That happened like 19 times.
Yes. It happened. They played that song for Zicky Dice to come out. And we're like, because they were like, this is the championship match. And we're all sitting there like, okay, here, we're getting ready to see Zicky Dice, who we both were really excited.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Because we both love outlandish Zicky Dice. And we just kept going, the moon hits your eye.
It was so strange.
It just kept playing and playing and playing. And we were like, is this person ever coming out? And then nobody comes out. And then all of a sudden the music just cuts off. And then Zicky Dice music starts playing. And he comes out instantly. Gets on the microphone and says, who do we got to fire for that fuck up?
Well, that was after the elimination match.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about the elimination match.
Yeah. It was 4 guys, right?
Six.
There was 6, okay.
I thought there were 6.
I don't know.
No, there might have been 4. I'm sorry.
Okay. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead
yes.
and tell that.
So they had an elimination match, which clearly means when one person is eliminated, the match continues until there's one remaining, and he's announced the winner. Well, Keita.
Pretty good, by the way,
Pretty good, yeah. Actually liked him. He had this guy in an ankle lock, and the guy taps, and all of a sudden, Keita's music hits, and the ring announcer girl who
was the ring announcer, the timekeeper, the ring bell woman.
Too many things, and
she had a rough night tonight. She had a rough night.
We had a rough night with her.
Oh God.
I don't know what that outfit was, but that wasn't a good choice.
It was, yeah, maybe not the best choice of an outfit for her, but
she just announces that.
Well, she rang the fucking bell too.
She rang the fucking bell. She rang the fucking bell on the first elimination, and then announced Keita as the winner of the match.
Like 3 minutes into a 6-man eliminator match,
and everyone's like, boo. There were these two.
The wrestlers are looking at her like, what the hell are you doing?
And then these two guys sitting beside you. They were like, what the fuck? Like, they just started yelling like, fix it, or like,
oh my God.
I can't even remember what they yelled, but they were hilarious. They got up and left.
Yeah, they did. They just got up and left. Oh my God.
But then they played that freaking Amore song so many times, and they didn't ring the bell.
They played it so many times and stopped it so many times that when they started playing it again, I was hoping it was Luigi Primo to come out.
Yes.
Because I was scared about who else was going to come out at that point.
Well, then who ended up coming out was a guy that had a singlet that said "Snug Life."
And I guess he had like a Frenchie, the Italian version of Frenchie Martin came out as his manager. That was wearing black and gold in a really gaudy, outlandish outfit that made no sense.
Yeah.
And he did nothing. He just came out.
He just kept doing the Paisan hand signal
God,
to everybody.
Yeah. That was strange.
Yeah, it was a lot. What else was on this show? I'm drawing blanks now.
That women's match was okay.
Oh yes, they had a 4-way with Kid Bandit,
Billy Starks,
Brooke Havoc, yes.
Who was the other
and
one?
the one from I'm assuming she's from Stardom.
Oh yeah, what the hell? Act something.
Yakazuma
Starts with a Y. I don't even want to butcher it.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know
sorry
what it
if
is.
I butchered your
But
name.
she was on both shows, and it was strange because she didn't do much.
She did nothing except lay on the mat and
It
look
was
into
really
the ring.
weird.
It's she would get thrown out of the ring
and just hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought Kid Bandit looked a lot better in the second match, the second show for whatever reason. I mean, she's got something. Kid Bandit's got something. So it's pretty cool. I love Billy Starks. You know, I put her over almost every time we do a podcast. But she's super young. She's gonna be really great, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for the ride because I think that girl's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And then Brooke Havoc was the other one who's also pretty young too. Man, she's got to work on those strikes, dude. Her strikes look really weak.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling for her, man. I really am because I like her. You know, she's one of those people like for whatever reason that I don't really have an explanation as to why I root for her. You know, whenever I see her, but I do. And you know, but like she's just her strikes are just not good.
Yeah, they were.
It doesn't help when you're on the same card with people like Speedball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
and even Maki Ito, you know, has pretty good strikes for her size. But yeah, there was that match was pretty good. That 4-way women's match ended up being pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It didn't go very long. I mean, and in the other matches they went 10 minutes too long.
Yeah, the trios tag match with Team Thrusty, and I don't even know who was even the other team.
Dude, I can't even remember at this point who.
It was so long. I just wanted them to go home. I kept leaning over to you, like, "Are they going home yet?"
Well, there were other people saying, like, wrap it up.
Yeah, we literally heard someone say, "Time to wrap it up."
Yeah,
like that one went 10 minutes too long.
Yeah. I love Effie,
but I love Effie too.
The thing that you know, it's one of those. It's weird with him because like I just find myself every time I see him on a show because I watch a lot of stuff on Fite, right? Every time I see him on a show, I watch his match. Right. There's not too many people in the indie world that I can say that about. but I love his entrance.
Right.
The guy has a hell of a character.
It does.
He's probably just playing himself.
He's a one of one.
He's awesome.
Yeah. He
He's
was
a lot
really
of fun.
good.
Yeah.
And then the main event for that show was another trios, a men's trios with, they had Tom Lawler
Yeah.
and this guy named, what was
Cal
his?
Jack.
Cal Jack.
Who's a bigger dude, looked pretty strong.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I'm unfamiliar with him, but he looked like he
had
got something.
He had a presentation to
Yeah.
him. Not
And
the
then-
look that he probably has now. It could probably be better.
Then the other guy, I had
Vander.
no idea who that guy was.
But
And
did
he was
some-
fine. I just don't know who he
He did some good
is.
high flying stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was TJP.
Who's phenomenal.
Yes. If you're not familiar with TJP, he was in the WWE. He won the first Cruiserweight Classic.
And then they buried the shit out of him.
Yeah, buried the shit out of him.
They pushed him with the Classic. They pulled him up, and he was on 205 doing jobs, and he said, peace out.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame, because that guy has super talented, can fly around the ring.
Right.
He is creative as shit.
Yep.
He is very experienced at this point. He had an amazing entrance in WWE. He had an amazing song in WWE.
Yep.
And they didn't do jack shit
Right.
with that guy, which is a real shame.
Yeah, it is a real shame. And then who was the other guy that was on that team with him and Speedball? Yeah, Speedball. But I don't know. Jay. I can't remember that guy's name. Apologies to you.
There were three of the six guys in that trios match were people I had no idea who they were.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what the guy's name was.
But yeah, TJ or P got the win. Correct?
Yeah, I think Perkins. I think he did. I think he got the win.
There was whenever they hit the go home switch and they started to go home and they started doing the false finishes, it was really
good.
Up.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
Dude, Lawler's great, man.
Well, yeah.
He's so fun to watch. He like playing in the crowd and everything, and like he's a guy that's super believable because he's got all the MMA background. His gear is hilariously awesome.
Yes.
Like I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know if he will end up being in AEW or something as maybe a commentator down the line. I don't know why they don't pull him in right now to be a talent, dude, because that guy can work his ass off.
Yeah.
And he's a hell of a heel. I mean, I don't know why people don't want to bring him in, but I mean we're missing the boat on that.
Yeah.
Because MLW did a good job with that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like seeing that. Was my first Tommy Lawler match, and I enjoyed it, and I think we're gonna see him again tomorrow.
Yeah. What else did I have? Oh, Robert Martyr.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Really
Guy, we had no idea who he was.
No idea who he was, but he instantly had a look, and his like what we were both talking about before we started recording was that his strikes looked very believable,
Awesome.
very good, crisp.
Everything he does has got a pop to it.
Yes.
And I love that, man. When it looks like it's laying shit in, man.
Yes.
And he's grabbing a guy and he's jerking him up, and it's
Yeah.
like that looks awesome.
Yeah.
That guy's got a lot of talent.
He does. And I really liked him a lot. And there was good stuff tonight. It just seemed like they just didn't hit every single time, which we shouldn't really expect that out of.
Who was the guy that you were saying you liked from both shows? The Australian guy. The guy that I said looked
there
like
was an Australian guy that looked like Darby Allin if he hit 14 trend cycles.
Yeah.
He was jacked up, and he didn't wear the paint, but he
That's
had this
the guy that I told you looked like it would be the child of Alex Shelley and Hammerstone.
Yes, that's exactly what he looked like. He was awesome. He had the same basically gear as what Darby Allin, and kind of did Darby Allin things in the ring. Did the roll and stuff like that.
Adam Brooks, that's his name.
Adam Brooks, yes. He did very well. I really liked him. That's the first time I ever saw him tonight. He looked great.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, that show was up and down, man. Like I thought the Pandemonium show was better, just crisp. It was a lot crisper, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. And look, we're not trying to kill anybody here, but it was it was Relentless' first show.
Yeah.
They're in a new city. They're using somebody else's ring, all that kind of shit.
Right.
I totally get it, but
Totally.
too many errors, man. I mean the girl that was running doing the announcing in the ring and everything fell in the ring.
He's throwing Slim Jims.
Throwing Slim Jim.
I mean,
14
14 centimeters. They didn't even make it out of the ring, and she fell while
she was throwing
them
him out of the ring and couldn't get them in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, dude, What was up with the Slim Jim bullshit?
They had that Team Slim Jim. That's right. We forgot about Team Slim Jim.
I mean, I want to forget about Team Slim Jim.
That was
There's
the
Warhorse and who else?
Warhorse and the dude from. Oh my gosh! The team made no sense. But then that giant dude that came out.
They brought a 9-foot dude out
that had a Slim Jim hat on.
and he was throwing Slim Jims at people.
He tried
to shove a Slim Jim down Effie's throat.
Yeah. That was the one that people were like, that's the one that they were saying,
wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Yeah. I know that I heard a wrap it up. Yeah, and then they brought that dude out, and it was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing?
Yeah, too much. We're doing too much. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Warhorse looked like he got bigger, and
Warhorse looked like he got
better
himself into shape.
Since we saw him in AEW,
He looked awesome.
yeah,
And he was really laying his stuff in. He looks like he's much improved.
yeah. I mean,
Because
not a terrible show. It just wasn't great.
Correct.
It wasn't even good.
Well, and then we were disappointed that we didn't get Hoovy juice.
Yeah,
So
is what it is. I'm sure there was something with him, getting into the country or something. Who knows?
probably
Last
or
minute.
something. But yeah, that was our 2 shows today. Tomorrow is the big day. We got 4 shows tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. We got Santino Bros. Then 2 o'clock we go to the Mark Hitchcock Super Show.
That'll be awesome.
That one's going to be a good one. Then 8 o'clock we got the New Japan versus Impact Multiverse United show.
Yeah, we're gonna see Tanahashi twice this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to see Tanahashi twice this weekend because he's going to be on back-to-back shows.
Yep, and Ring of Honor. You got announced tonight for Ring of Honor versus Garcia.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go to GCW for the Culture at midnight.
Yeah.
So that podcast tomorrow night might not be up
Yeah.
at 5:55 in the morning like you will be used to seeing, because we will be we'll probably still be at a show this time
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I mean, we'll record it tomorrow.
We will, yeah.
Because if you skip one day, you'll skip 2 days.
Right,
That's
yeah,
just
yeah.
what it is.
And, we're not going to skip it, but it's going to be later because it is now 4:55
Jesus
a.m.
God. Bad guys time.
Good guys time.
It's 1:55 right now here. God Almighty.
Yeah,
But dude, we thought we were gonna be home we thought we'd be back at the hotel at midnight.
right. And that show, like,
How did that show go an hour and a half?
how did the first show go late?
What the hell happened?
I don't know.
Did the ring collapse?
I don't know.
What the hell? What are we doing?
I don't. Yeah. They know that everyone else is doing the same thing WrestleMania weekend, and they were an hour behind.
Maybe that's why people left. I don't know. They were just like, you know what? It's going to be another hour till the show starts. Peace out.
Yeah,
It could be that. I don't know.
Hopefully,
I
none
was
of that
really
happens.
surprised that there was nobody at that show, man. It went from a pretty good indie crowd
Yeah,
for that Pandemonium show, and then it was 31 people, I think, or something near that.
Yeah, it
is
was
what
not.
it felt like.
It was not a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget to download, rate, review, subscribe. We will be back tomorrow night with the big day, our 4-show day. So, again, that's Santino Bros Wrestling, the March Hitchcock Memorial Super Show, the New Japan Impact Multiverse United show, which that one's going to be a good one.
Sure. They should all be good.
They should all be good tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we're finishing it up with GCW for the Culture.
Hey, Leo Rush got announced for one of the shows.
Really?
I don't remember which one it was, but he's on a card. I saw it last night. I forget which one. So I know we were talking about whether or not we were going to see him at all.
Yeah.
Because of that, for the Culture thing, he got pulled off it or wasn't able to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's on a card for something.
Cool.
It must be. I don't know if it's the Impact show or what it is, but I definitely saw that he's wrestled somebody.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we'll get to see him.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Well, don't forget to download, rate, review, subscribe. We will be back tomorrow, and we will see you next time on The Podski.